There's this amazing song that Manoj Kumar had been a part of. I don't remember the name of the movie. It was Saira Banu and Manoj Kumar. कोई जब तुम्हारा हृदय तोड़ दे तड़पता हुआ कोई तुम्हें छोड़ दे तब तुम मेरे पास आना प्रिय मेरा दर खुला है खुला ही रहेगा तुम्हारे लिए, right? These were the lyrics. I don't want to sing it unless and until you crack the exam. The day you crack the exam, I'll sing it for you. Now this these lines, they remind me of this thought that whenever you do not find, or you find it difficult to get the right kind of guidance or approach with respect to current affairs, then you should come to me, because I would help you guys out in all the aspects that I can help you with. On that note, I bring to you the second video session on economy. This is the second in series, second but not the last, because this is going to be a long, prolonged series. If you show your love and support to these series that I'm covering, one on science and tech and another one on economics. So if you give your full support, if you like this video and share it with your friends, you take it to the next level, then certainly these are not just the two subjects that you will be getting from me. You will see a number of videos from my side, and I shall make sure that every single topic that we cover has a connotation of what UPSC asks. If you have been watching these videos, you would realize that this is the right approach for the exam as well. Before I proceed further, I want to introduce you to the field, and through the field, I want you to get to know the amazing faculty team that Sriram's IS is bringing to you guys on an academy platform. Sriram sir himself, and this is here, this is me, right? As far as who am I is concerned, that question for those, all the uninitiated individuals, right? So this guy right here with this amazing smile, this is me. This is my name, Sanadat Bhardwaj, my qualifications, my years of experience, the kind of subjects that I've handled, and with that knowledge, with that wisdom, I am bringing to you, with of course Sriram's IS, on an academy platform, a number of courses. Now these courses are pertaining for 2024 as well as 2023. There are crash courses for 2023, there is foundational course for 2024, and also there are optional subject courses for the same years. Now if you want to avail any kind of discount, then for example, if you want to avail discount in the optional subject, okay, if you want to avail discount, say for example in the foundation course, okay, any sort of discount, it would require you to use a referral code for that purpose, and that is SRIRAMS. That is Srirams, and you will get an instant 25% discount in those courses. Beyond that, you can also avail multiple courses and get around 20% flat 20% discount in all the UPSC subscriptions, provided you use this code. Again, you should remember the code and you will get the benefits. All right. This is the code SRIRAMS. 100% coverage of the topic, live classes, structured courses, end to end preparation from prelims, mains, and interviews. Everything will be covered, and all you have to do is partake in all these sessions that we are bringing to you guys, all the free live classes that happen on Unacademy platform, all the live classes that are happening on Unacademy UPSC Articulate YouTube channel, everything that Sriram's IS is bringing to you guys through these portals. One thing. Second thing, if you are worried what optional subject should you choose, only on 15th of this month and on 16th of this month, I have taken and I will be taking sessions, particularly how to choose an optional. One, why do you need an optional in UPSC? Why should you choose an optional? What should be the grounds of choosing an optional? A very analytical approach as to what should be the way in choosing your optional subject. You might be from any field, आप साइंसेस बैकग्राउंड से हैं, लॉ बैकग्राउंड से हैं, आर्ट्स बैकग्राउंड से हैं, किसी भी बैकग्राउंड से हैं, बट आपके लिए, आपके जहन में, आपके मन में ये सवाल हमेशा रहता है, व्हाट शुड बी द अप्रोच विद रिस्पेक्ट टू ऑप्शनल्स, एंड फॉर दैट I bring to you these sessions. They have happened on an academy portal. You can search my name, that is Sanat Dutt Bhardwaj. This is my name, Sanat Dutt Bhardwaj. And if you search me as an educator on an academy, I am a partner educator through Sri Ram's IS. So if you follow me there, you would realize that I have taken two sessions at 9 p.m. on 15th and 16th by the time you see this video. Through those sessions, I have explained what is public administration and what should be the approach for optionals. Make sure to follow them. Ciao. Now, Sri Ram's IS has been one name which has been sine qua non to success. These individuals are the exemplary individuals who have been a part of our classroom programs, and yes, they have succeeded. Single digit, double digit rank holders, and all of them, they owe their successes to the hard work of mentors and their own in the field of UPSC. Chalo, let's take this session and take whatever we had left, in the previous class, and take it a step further. For example, we were talking about UPI. That brings us to the question, what are payment aggregators? Now, what has happened is very recently, big tech companies like Amazon and Google, they have been given in principle approval by RBI. In principle approval is that, yes, the policy has been given a nod, a yes nod by RBI to operate as online payment aggregators. अदरवाइज इसके अंदर कुछ हिकअप्स चल रहे थे, उन हिकअप्स को दूर करके पेमेंट एग्रीगेटर्स के तौर पर इन बिग टेक कंपनीज को एक्सेप्टेंस मिलनी शुरू हो गई है. दीज मर्चेंट एग्रीगेटर्स विल बी प्रोवाइडिंग थर्ड पार्टी सर्विसेज which will allow different merchants to accept payments from customers through their websites or their apps. तो ये थर्ड पार्टी सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स हो जाएंगे, just like you have for example Google Pay, for example you have UPI as well. It's basically payment gateways, है ना? So you can process transactions through Amazon or Google now. Now payment aggregator basically bridges the gap between merchants and acquirers. A merchant need not have a merchant account directly with the bank, and at its core the idea is that the payment aggregators that bear the heavy load of integration of providing services of transactions being smoothly run to provide all inclusive solutions and payment acceptance. Payment acceptance का issue क्यों आता है? Because what happens is when the transaction is being made, that transaction has to be smooth. Most of the times, the public key infrastructure companies, the PKI companies, public key infrastructure companies, like I've given you the example of, say, Visa, MasterCard, for example, now RuPay, for example, they are providing you with the infrastructure, the key infrastructure, which makes sure that there is end-to-end encryption and safety and security of transactions. तो उसमें money is also safeguarded, उसके साथ साथ your information is also safeguarded, right? And that is why it is the burden on the payment aggregators. Similarly, just like these public key infrastructure companies, not the same thing, but whatever happens with PKI companies, the same thing happens with payment aggregators. Safety and security of different different sorts of information, including the transaction itself, falls as a burden on them. Now, let's understand how NPCI handles all of this. Let's see how different processes happen with respect to NPCI. For example, you make a payment order through UPI. That is the first step. Okay. And that request goes to the payment aggregator or PA. This is basically the payment gateway, which is providing a network to the payment aggregator. The gateway allows the payment aggregator to have access to all sorts of information. Now, from this payment gateway, the second step happens is authorization of the request. So this request is sent to the payment aggregator's partner bank, which is an escrow bank. Escrow, what does it mean? For example, let me explain it to you in simple sense. If A is to transfer money to B, But A and B, they don't trust each other. What do? A asks B to have an escrow account in C bank or with C person, and he says that yes, I trust C. B says I also trust C. So A transfers contingent money. Contingent means based on certain conditions. So you transfer money here, and only on the satisfaction of certain conditions B would receive this money. So this is the escrow account. This is how escrow happens in simple terms. Acha, on the basis of this, the escrow bank will basically receive the authorization request, and that authorization request is then further sent to NPCI. That authorization request from NPCI goes to the payer's bank. For example, if you are purchasing something, you are the payer, you are paying for that. And that request through the payment aggregator, through the escrow bank, through NPCI reaches your own bank, right? And that bank, once it receives that request, it responds to NPCI. That response is passed on to escrow bank, and then the approval is received by the escrow bank, and that on the basis of that approval, he, I'm saying it receives money in the escrow account. From this bank, it goes here. That is how the loop works. Once that happens, the payment aggregator now will transfer payment on the settlement date, whatever date has been finalized. And finally, the merchant or the seller will receive credit notification once the merchant's bank receives that. Once that happens, merchant will ship goods to the payer or the customer. And also, the payment aggregator onboards these merchants so that they can have access of this process. Now, all of this process seems to be very much elongated. You can actually, just directly go to the merchant, but that does not happen these days. You are shopping online and you need a process so that everything gets sorted out. है ना? And for that reason, this entire web of process is created. Further, there are different types of aggregators in India that are in play. For example, there are third party aggregators, which are third party PAs or third party payment aggregators. They offer innovative payment solutions to businesses like Amazon and Google. For example, they're user friendly, then it is easy for merchant to be onboarded, and it has quick customer support. Because everything else, for example, if you see this process chart, everything else is being taken care of by other individuals. It is a prolonged process. It happens in a fraction of seconds sometimes, or maybe takes a day or two, but it still is very much segregated, very much decentralized, and it helps in securing certain level of customer support for both merchants as well as the customer or the payer. The second type of payment aggregators are banks themselves. So bank payment aggregators, there is a lack of many of popular payment options along with detailed reporting features, given that the banks themselves are good with banking services, not as payment aggregators, or they are not too smooth when it comes to transaction business. They are not suitable particularly for small businesses or startups. Why? Because it is high cost and difficult to integrate. For that reason, it becomes very difficult. This is a very important topic. There can be a direct question coming from this topic. So make sure that you know all of things that are relevant with respect to payment aggregators. If you have any doubts, of course, you can ask things from me on in the comment section. Make sure to like this video as well if you have watched it till this time. Further, moving to the next topic, and that is Gift City IFSC. Gift City, Gujarat International Finance Tech City, or GIFT. Basically, Union Budget has proposed several measures to enhance business activities in this GIFT IFSC. The efforts were to make India an international hub for financial technology and financial services. The concern was that China has been dominating in this segment. We wanted to break down the monopoly, and that was the reason why in 2015 this idea was propounded. And in fact, a subsidiary of Exim Bank, Export Import Bank, for trade refinancing, particularly in export import segment, has been thought of as being established at the GIFT IFSC Center, and IFSCA Act would be amended as well to make statutory provisions for arbitration, conciliation, provisions of sorting out financial difficulties and financial problems, not of people but of companies, where different companies have tussle with each other. There are any kind of say any kind of disputes, so dispute resolution mechanisms based on arbitration, conciliation, then various other ancillary services, any kind of dual regulation should be avoided under the स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन एक्ट. तो इसकी वजह से आईएफएससीए एक्ट के अंदर अमेंडमेंट की बात हो रही है. नाउ व्हाट इज आईएफएससीए? IFSCA is International Financial Services Center Authority, one which is looking after this gift city. What is IFSCA? Let's look it up. थोड़ा समझ लेते हैं. It is a statutory body. It was established only 2 years back, 3 years back in 2020 under the IFSCA Act of 2019. It is a statutory body. Remember this. It is not a non-statutory body. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल भी नहीं है, स्टैट्यूटरी है. मैं बार बार रिपीट कर रहा हूं, ये सवाल आ जाता है तो फिर बच्चे कंफ्यूज नहीं होने चाहिए. अच्छा, prior to the establishment of this authority, domestic financial regulators, for example, RBI, SEBI, PFRDA, IRDA, insurance regulator, the pension fund regulator, the securities market regulator, the banking regulator, for example, they used to regulate businesses in IFSC. Now there is a separate authority which is going to take care of financial services. So एक separate regulating authority है. The main objective is to develop a strong global connect. The idea is to make India a hub for financial services and also dispute resolution services. तो उसी वजह से if you remember in 2015 we had revamped the 1990 1995 से 95 से एक एक्ट चल रहा था. We changed it after 20 odd years. That act was Arbitration and Conciliation Act. Arbitration and Conciliation Act. Direct question was there in mains. It can come up again in prelims. The idea or the agenda of this act is to promote ADR. ADR is alternate dispute resolution mechanism, ADR mechanism. Okay, so very much relevant for us. चलो, इससे ज्यादा इसमें नहीं देखना है. Moving on to the next topic, and that is Methane Global Tracker Report. सिंपल चीज, क्वेश्चन रिपोर्ट के ऊपर आएगा. इंटरनेशनल एनर्जी एजेंसी हैज रिलीज्ड दिस रिपोर्ट, रिमेंबर दैट. बट बिकॉज मीथेन इकोनॉमी इज वन टॉपिक दैट इज getting really famous, methane economy, because Niti Aayog way back in 2018-2019 started to talk about methane economy. For that reason we have to cover this report in a bit detail, क्योंकि क्या पता यूपीएससी को शौक चढ़े और वो ज्यादा डिटेल में सवाल पूछ ले. So methane global tracker report talks about methane, which is basically a greenhouse gas and is responsible for 30% of the global warming from pre-industrial times. It is 80 times more potent as compared to carbon dioxide. If carbon dioxide causes 1 unit of global warming, it causes 80 units of global warming. That is the difference. In fact, this is how you measure the potency of global warming, or all the agents of global warming. So it is equivalent, units equivalent to carbon dioxide. So how many units equivalent to carbon dioxide? If carbon dioxide is is causing this much, then how many times stronger is methane? That is what the comparison is all about. इसके अंदर SF6 फॉर एग्जांपल, सल्फर हेक्साफ्लोराइड इज मच हायर, फिर उसमें क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन्स आ जाते हैं, बहुत सारी एक लंबी सी लिस्ट है. टॉप 6 के बारे में आपको पता होना चाहिए. द 6 डेविल्स of global warming, you should know about that. Ozone is also in the list. Comment section में बताइएगा what is the rank of ozone insofar as global warming is concerned in terms of carbon dioxide equivalency. Also, second thing that you should tell me in the comment section, water vapor is also a Water vapor is also a greenhouse gas. What is the potency of water vapor vis-a-vis carbon dioxide? Comment section में बताना. Now, as far as the report is concerned, this report has shown that 75% of methane emissions, they can be reduced if you, convert yourself into readily available cheaper technologies as well. तो सस्ती टेक्नोलॉजी को भी यूज करोगे उससे भी कम फर्क पड़ जाएगा. Then the global methane pledge, where 150 countries have joined in, the pledge has aimed to reduce the methane emissions by human activities by 30% from 2020 levels. 2030 तक का हमारे पास समय है. So we have to reduce it by 30%. So one third reduce करना है अपने को basically. India has also committed to reducing the emissions with respect to the intensity of its GDP by 33 to 35% below 2005 levels by 2030. Agenda 2030 का part है ये. Energy sector accounts for 40% of total average methane emissions. 80% of the available options to curb the emissions, they can be implemented with net zero cost. You don't have to add anything. You don't have to invest anything. Almost net zero cost आ जाता है. यू हैव टू इन्वेस्ट बट वो नेट जीरो मतलब जो उससे रिटर्न्स आते हैं वो बराबर आ जाते हैं. तो ऑलमोस्ट नेट जीरो कॉस्ट पे आप 80% सॉल्यूशंस को इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं. हाउ वंडरफुल इट वुड बी. Then implementing methane reduction measures, they cost less than 3% of the net income received by the oil and gas industry 2022 के बाद. तो what is stopping them to do that? Maybe lethargy, आलस आ रहा है और कुछ नहीं. Reduction of 75% of natural gas wastage could actually lower the global temperature rise by nearly 0.1 degree Celsius. Even this slight change will have a really potent effect on climate change. So very important. Which brings us to the International Energy Agency. Now जो ये International Energy Agency है, it is an intergovernmental organization established in 1974. Headquarters are in Paris. इसको Paris बोल देते हैं, but Paris is the French pronunciation. 31 members हैं. Objective क्या है? Reliable, affordable, clean energy for all the members of of the organization, and yes, of course, for the rest of the world as well, not just for the members. Then agreement on International Energy Program (IEP) agreement is the one that mandates and structures, and structure of the IEA, International Energy Agency, under an umbrella of organization called OECD. तो इस अग्रीमेंट के बेसिस पर OECD के साथ इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की क्रिएशन है. मेंबरशिप क्राइटेरिया क्या है वो सुन लीजिए, बिकॉज इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. सबसे पहली चीज दैट यू शुड नो, इंडिया not a member of OECD but a key economic partner. Remember this. Now, a candidate country must have crude oil or product reserves, strategic oil reserves, for example, equivalent to 90 days of the previous net imports. So, for example, if you are importing somewhere around, say, 100 million metric tons of crude oil, then you should have strategic oil reserves, which is equivalent to 90 days for that lot of import. ठीक है जी. फॉर विच द गवर्नमेंट हैज इमीडिएट एक्सेस, ताकि वो 90 दिन तक अपनी एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी रख सके, विच इज 3 months, एंड इट कुड बी यूज टू एड्रेस ऑल द डिसरप्शंस अगर ग्लोबल ऑयल सप्लाई चेन के अंदर कोई भी आती है. इंडिया बिकेम एन एसोसिएट मेंबर, वाज नॉट अ मेंबर ऑफ ओईसीडी, की इकोनॉमिक पार्टनर है. इट इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ ओईसीडी इंडिया, बट एन इकोनॉमिक पार्टनर. वन. सेकेंड, this is also something that you will have to remember. India is an associate member of International Energy Agency ever since 2017. In fact, one of my seniors is actually working in this field in IEA for India through Niti Aayog, and she keeps on giving me some insights on that. And whenever I talk to her, wonderful work is being done from India side. India in fact has signed an one strategic partnership agreement, SPA बोल देते हैं इसको. strategic partnership agreement IEA के साथ साइन किया है to strengthen cooperation in global energy security, stability, sustainability. ये 2 साल पहले 2021 में हुआ था. All right. Now, in fact, India, even though it is just an associate member, given that India is an important individual nation, इंडिया को बार बार बुलाया जाता है टू डीपन इट्स कोऑपरेशन विद आईईए to become a full-time member. This has been very recently being said or announced by IEA, but it has yet to be finalized. हुआ नहीं है, तो we are still an associate member. We can become full member by the time, if you are preparing for 2024-2025, maybe we might become a full-time member by then. Okay. Now, what are the key publications of IEA? World Energy Outlook, very important. Net zero by 2050, a roadmap for global energy sector. Then ETP, energy technology perspectives, not prospectives, perspectives. Global EV outlook, GIVO. Then oil market report, world energy investment, clean energy transitions program, CETP. All of these are important publications that happen from International Energy Agency. ठीक है जी. अच्छा, there are certain breadcrumbs that I keep on bringing for you guys, certain homework that I bring for you guys. One of them is that we are going to ask you guys today that you have to answer in the comment section. Raghuram Rajan recently said that we are dangerously close, he said. It is just, rhetoric, but still, we are dangerously close to the Hindu growth rate. One, I find it really derogatory. Second, it can be asked in prelims, what is Hindu growth rate or what are the attributes with respect to Hindu growth rate. तो इस वजह से इस टॉपिक को करना जरूरी हो जाता है, and that is why I am asking you to write it down in the comment section, the answer to this question. What do you think is Hindu growth rate? So this is your homework. कमेंट सेक्शन में बताइएगा. आई ऑलवेज गो थ्रू द कमेंट सेक्शन, आई ऑलवेज रिप्लाई टू द कमेंट्स. आप जब भी कमेंट करते हैं मैं जवाब देता हूं भाई, वो मैं ही होता हूं जो जवाब देता हूं. आई ऑलवेज रिप्लाई. सो नेवर एवर थिंक दैट सर कहां देखेंगे, सर हमेशा देखेंगे. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक एंड दैट इज समर्थ स्कीम. Now recently government has announced to rope in more industry partners so that they can push the speed of this flagship scheme called Samarth scheme. What is this for? It is for skill development in textile sector. जैसे मैं लिख रहा हूं ऐसे ही आपने नोट्स में लिखना है. रीजन बीइंग इट बिकम्स वेरी इजी टू रिमेंबर, इट बिकम्स वेरी इजी टू रिमेंबर. ओके. नाउ apart from that, see, as far as this scheme is concerned, as far as the scheme is concerned, really sorry about that. Samarth is a demand driven placement oriented scheme where we want to upskill people or personnel in the textile industry. That is it. Ministry of Textiles se associated hai. This scheme is to be running for one odd year and it will end by March 2024. That will be the first phase. And agar sahi raha तो ऑफ कोर्स डेफिनेटली हम अगले फेज के लिए इसको एक्सटेंड करेंगे. ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स होंगे, कोर्स करिकुलम होगा इन अ रैशनलाइज्ड मैनर. मार्केट डिमांड जिस स्किल की है आपके टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर के अंदर, उसी स्किल के लिए एंट्री लेवल स्किलिंग होगी, स्पेशलाइजेशंस भी होंगी, अपस्किलिंग्स भी होंगी, सब कुछ होगा, चाहे वो अपैरल इंडस्ट्री हो या गारमेंटिंग सेगमेंट हो. ऑल द एक्सिस्टिंग वर्कर्स विल गेट द बेनिफिट्स एज वेल, है ना. Now this scheme will also be able to cater to upskilling and reskilling requirements of traditional textile sector. For example, the handloom industry, handicraft, silk and jute industry, etc. ठीक है जी. Incentives देने हैं, supplements provide करने हैं to the industry in creating jobs in organized textile sector, for example, and जितने भी related sectors हैं प्रोडक्शन के अंदर एंड क्रिएशन ऑफ टेक्सटाइल्स एक्सेट्रा, सब तरफ. अब इसकी इंप्लीमेंटेशन की अगर बात की जाए, देयर विल बी इंप्लीमेंटिंग पार्टनर्स, फॉर एग्जांपल द इंडस्ट्री एसोसिएशंस, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज, सेक्टोरल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ टेक्सटाइल के अंदर आने वाली, चाहे वो डीसी हो, चाहे डीसी हैंडलूम्स हो, हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स हो, सेंट्रल सिल्क बोर्ड हो, फॉर एग्जांपल, है ना. ऑल दीज विल बी पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ इंप्लीमेंटिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम. And what are the advanced features for this scheme? For example, आधार इनेबल्ड बायोमेट्रिक अटेंडेंस सिस्टम होगा, ईबास बोलते हैं जिसको. ट्रेनिंग ऑफ ट्रेनर्स भी होगा, सीसीटीवी रिकॉर्डिंग होगी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स की, हेल्पलाइन नंबर, मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन, वेब बेस्ड मैनेजमेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम रहेगा. एमआईएस जो है बहुत हेल्प कर देता है. ऑनलाइन मॉनिटरिंग होगी, ट्रैकिंग ऑफ प्रोग्रेस भी हो सकेगा, विच विल रियली हेल्प enhance the service delivery in this particular aspect. All right. Chalo. With that, let's end this session. I will see you guys in the new class of this economy series. The next class will happen very soon. Make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Unacademy UPSC Articulate. Apart from that, keep following all the initiatives that Sri Ram's IS is bringing for you guys on Unacademy UPSC Articulate channel, as well as the Unacademy platform. Sri Ram's IS is basically motivated and trying to bring to you all the positive content and material in the right manner, with the right guidance, with the help of the team of faculties that we have, to make sure that you excel through this exam. Support us in this initiative, be a part of this initiative by sharing these videos. Also, follow me on Unacademy. I am a partner educator through Sri Ram's IS. And if you want, you should be attending the current affairs sessions. We have a course running on current affairs, crash course for 2023, and we have a foundation course for 2024. We have optional subject courses as well, which are comprehensive courses. Be a part of all the initiatives. This is a humble recommendation for you all. Thank you. God bless you all. That is all for from my side for today. Take care. Bye bye.